Hello, welcome back to Thursday's vlog. The week's going away very quick. I can't believe we're near the end of the week already. Really busy day today, genuinely lots in. So I'm going to do a quick walk around. I'll do a quick walk around the cars, what's in, and do a bit of explaining. So, first up, I've got this little Toyota hybrid Yaris in. As I've already mentioned with this one, I've got a full Toyota service kit for it. So, oil and filter, air filter, pollen filter, brake pads, front discs and pads on it. But they're quite an odd looking disc before. I've seen a few of them, but not many. A black disc, genuine parts. So obviously it's all corrosion protected around there, so we'll get them fitted. As well as, like I've said, the service, I want to get on with that. Start doing that now. I'll just put that away so it doesn't fall off onto somebody. Apologies there, I just had a customer dropping off a car. So anyways, yeah, got this little Yaris in. Rear discs and pads, oil and filter, air filter, pollen filter. This is a bit walk around. So hybrid Yaris, highly recommend these things. Absolutely brilliant. Excuse the wind out here. Hybrid Yaris, there we go. This old girl, I've said, the poor alternator packed in about 2 years ago, and she survives off getting a battery charge once or twice every month. And you know what it is, it starts up, fires up, absolutely great. 200,000 mile of things, falling to bits, but just survives getting a battery charge every couple of weeks, and it'll stop and start in and out the garage, because the reason it's out here is I'm going to put the dog so we can get some air the day, because it's quite a nice day, a bit windy. Got this CHR in for MOT, again a hybrid. I think I was sponsored by Toyota. These are good cars. My mum and dad have a top spec one of these, an XL one. Really nice. Really nice cars, just not quite as big as what would expect. Hence my mum and dad, I think they're getting rid of theirs and getting another one, something a bit bigger. Funny enough, this was the lady, if anybody knows my ML on the channel, Mercedes ML, what I towed the caravan with, that used to be her car, which she replaced with this one. Funny enough, another story, I'm sorry about the wind, we've got this, if you remember my Freelander, which has gone to Matt at Furious Driving, this is the guy who used to own that, but I bought it off, and he replaced it with, yes, another Freelander, and it's in with a knocking noise. So let's hope it's not front drop links, because they're a right pain in the butt to do. So yeah, if anybody remembers me Freelander, or if you watch me videos on it, this was the guy I bought that off. So that's who I got the Mercedes off. That's who I got the Freelander off. Got this in. These are cracking little cars. These are probably one of my favourite small off-roaders, especially with the 2.2 diesel in. This needs rear brake pads, which it's in for. So I'll be getting the rear brake pads done on that now. Actually, I'm going to bring it in this Volkswagen Passat. That's in for a front spring, and the shocker's not looking the best. So the guy who, Graham, I'll mention him, he's a top bloke. He said just do the whole lot, because it's pointless putting a new spring onto the rusty old shocker. So it's going to get a new shocker, new spring, and a new. In fact, I'll show you the parts for it in the garage. We're going to do it right, because Graham does a lot of miles, and he just, he doesn't want to be breaking down. So that's that, but they're a nightmare to do on these. So that's, luckily he's dropped it off this morning, and he doesn't need it back until Friday. And that's my Laguna just parked out the way. So I'll swing this round, because I'm going to have to crack on and start moving some cars, otherwise my dad's going to come back and wonder what on earth I've been doing. So I'll show you the stuff for the Passat. Swing that round. Like I've said, always to do the job properly. Spring. I mean, when you're dealing with older cars, you know that's a 2007 car. Everything's going to be worn and corroded. So naturally, strut top bearing, because the spring's broken at the top, I think. So that's got a chance to be damaged, which you always change them on these, because the C's, there's 3 little bolts that go in the spin, and you definitely want to put a new one on and grease them up. New shocker, new spring, and as we've all seen, TRW, original dealer equipment, drop link, because you've got to disconnect that anyways, and it's pointless not changing it while everything's stripped. The little Fiesta, that's actually out on test drive. That's just gone out. Luckily, with the snap pin, we managed to get a kit from your parts. Anybody's got one of these, make a note of that number, because Ford want £160. They will not sell you these little pins separately. They want you to buy a whole caliper carrier for £160, which is an absolute joke. I think that's plus the VAT, so it's even more. So Euro parts sell a sliding pin kit. If you can manage to extract the snap pin, which 9 times out of 10 you can, there's the kit. There's the Padgett number, and if you have a look, it fits everything. Alfa, Audi, Citroen, I think that must mean Fiat, Mercedes, Peugeot, maybe Saab, Volkswagen. So there you go. So I'm going to crack on now, get all these cars moved around and start doing a bit of work, and I might snap in, do a bit of before and after. I'm not sure how much I can do because we need to get things done so quick today. So I'll do a quick one at dinner time and try and get it rolled out about 2 or 3 o'clock. So catch you soon. I'll just add this piece in, a quick update. I thought I'd show you this one, it's a good one. You see this CRV, like I mentioned, the pads were gone. So I fitted new pads. As you can see, I've greased the ends of the nuts which have gone in, new pads, everything freed off. But this was a good one, 2000 and, it's on a private plate this, but I'm sure it's about 2007, this 2008. And if you look at these pads, original Honda pads, you see that in the centre, Honda? And one of them had delaminated, so that wouldn't have been, see that's just come off? That wouldn't have been ideal if you'd go to step your foot on the brake and the lining just comes off and you lose your brakes for a few pumps of the pedal. So there you go. Always make sure you keep checking your brakes. So that's that done. I'm going to start on the other stuff now. This is the Freelander, like I've mentioned. This, if you remember mine from the channel, was an 03. This is a 55, so it's much newer. And if you have a look underneath, they generally keep all right. And again, shock horror, it's a 4-wheel drive one. Don't know if it's any good. Doesn't seem to make any noises. So it's one of the few 4-wheel drive Freelanders. Slight bit of play, but it's acceptable enough. I've driven this, so I wasn't no noises. So it's one of the few. But again, they do actually keep really well, these things. That's one thing I will definitely say. Someone sprayed some stuff, but it's not to cover any rust. The only usual bits is this, which we're going to see him about, but it's a common fault with these Freelanders, the tank straps. But the back ends and everything, they keep really good. Look at this. I mean, I know someone sprayed it black, but honestly, that is solid. Do you know what it is? If I got another chance of one of these cheap again, I'd probably have another one. If it was 4-wheel drive. You can see a little bit of the exhaust flaking off, but that's just the outer skin. It's not blown in any way. No leaks at all around the engine by the looks of it. That's what I did with mine. I didn't show it on the videos, but I upgraded all these pipes to the high quality silicon. So if you own one of these, that's the bit there you want to replace. That goes up to your vacuum actuator and it goes up, and then there's goes to a network on top of the engine. Somebody's obviously done something with the props on this because it's got a white mark on there. So they've either had them off, had it replaced. This does look fairly new, so somebody has spent the money on it. I just thought I would show you this one just quickly on the lift. So I'm going to get on with the Yaris now. I'll show you that when I've got the brakes fitted, or maybe when I've got them off. Get the wheels back onto that, get this off the lift, and we'll bring the Passat in here, start doing the Passat, and bring the Yaris in here and start doing that. So I'll come back with another short video. Right, welcome back. This is just going to be a short one, just quickly. The Passat is actually booked in tomorrow, so I'll leave that one till tomorrow. We've just had delivered the boot kits for it. So now we can get the whole job built up. So when we get a few minutes spare, so we've got the whole new leg ready built up, just to stick straight on the car. But there's still a lot of labour involved doing that. So this is your Toyota Yaris. This is a 1500, 1.5 petrol engine with your hybrid system built onto it. Just a bit of brief info. If you're ever dealing with a hybrid car or an electric car, don't tend to do too much around these bright orange cables because it will kill you. So keep well away. This is your inverter. It's actually a water-cooled inverter because if you look, you've got two. Where's the other one? You're cooling down here for your standard engine, and this is your cooler for the inverter, and probably I think goes to the battery pack. I'm not sure if they're water-cooled. But like I said, this is in for service. Oil and filter, air filter, pollen filter, rear discs and pads, just to show you. Lovely things to work on these Toyotas. 2 clips. Lift this up. Pull it forward. I can do it one-handed. And pull the air filter out. It's just quite a bit of dust coming out of it. That's certainly not being changed for a while. Is there a date stamp on that? This is your problem. Not mentioning names, but when you're buying cars from sales places, their version of, oh yes sir, it's been fully serviced just before you bought it. No, that means an oil and filter change at best. So, like I've said, trust us, these hybrid air filters take quite a while to get dirty, and that's bad. So there's that. I've got the new one, as you've seen, to go in over here. Let's actually take it across just to do a little comparison, shall we? Just so you can see new to old. There's quite a difference in that. But these, I've known these cars do a lot of miles and they really take time to clog the filters up. So that'll run a lot better. So we'll bang that in. Pollen filters, nice and easy on these. You just drop the glove box down. Literally, you just put 2 tabs off, bring it down. And it's just behind here. Squeeze those 2 little tabs together and out it comes. Keep that in order. And there's your filter. Let's have a look at this has ever been done. I don't know what on earth that is in there. It's some kind of what the earth is that? Tissue paper. Wow. Honestly, I swear to God, that wasn't pre-set up. That should not have been in there. That'll have been causing havoc with the air circulation. No idea how or why that's in there. That must have gotten sucked in from outside or something. Well, that's a new one. The pollen filter isn't that too bad. But we've got again the new one to go in. But again, if you compare new to old, quite surprised at that. I've never seen that. I've seen like general dirt and the odd like cigarette butt that's been sucked through, like when people are driving. But I've never actually seen a one do that. Yeah, I'm just used to finding these things minging. But yeah, there is quite a lot of difference there. So there you go. Yeah, and this old gentleman unfortunately is on oxygen. So in case anybody was wondering what that was, he's a lovely old fella. So yeah, I totally forgot. I need to ring my dad, which I think he's forgotten about as well. It needs rear tyres, which I've agreed to get done. So I'm going to have to ring up and find out if somebody can come and pick them up, or we're going to have to go and drop them off. Totally forgot about that. I think he has as well, so that might cause an issue. So there you go. I'll do a very short bit at the end when I've done the brakes. In fact, you probably don't need to see that. But I will. I'll put it in a quick snapshot when it's done. It's just I'm trying to get these out about dinner time, but it normally goes into like 2 and 3 o'clock. So what I might do is quickly whip the wheels off once I've done these 2 filters, show you it as it is, and you've already seen the new discs, what it's going to look like when they're on. Right, final part of the video. The Yaris is pretty much, half done. I just wanted to show you like the before and after and a few little things I've found. So we'll swing around and I'll show you what we've found. Obviously, we've done the filters, you know that. All I've got left to do is the oil filter, which is a metal screw-on one with the seal inside, and that's the genuine Toyota oil. Underneath, like I said, these hybrids, don't be scared of them. If you want to buy you one, they're just the same as any other car to work on. Nice, easy oil filter to get to, some plug, champion. So don't be afraid, and I swear to God, one of the most nicest driving experiences you'll have in a hybrid, regardless if it's a Yaris, a CRV, a CHR, or a RAV4, they're all pretty much the same. So then, we'll show a before and after. Obviously, you can see the discs. The customer's request, he wanted them done, they're all getting edged off. And I found a surprising thing at the other side. So obviously, that's them all when they're done. If you look, I've fitted black discs before, so that's them done. Genuine Toyota discs, genuine Toyota pads. If you're going to do these yourself or you're taking them to a garage, just be careful, because these metal pins, the springs go into an aluminium caliper and they get stuck, and if they snap inside of there, and if you can't drill them out, you kind of got to get a new caliper. So when you put them back in, put a little dot of grease on when you put them back in. Same with the sliders that come out of here. Clean them up with fine sandpaper, put some grease on them, special brake slider grease, put them back in. And again, as you can see, I've just gone around all the exposed nuts and bolts and brake pipes with wax oil. And this is what I'm talking about with a lot of these Toyotas and cars alike. All the brake pipes are covered in a protective plastic covering, but up to the ends in the factories where they mate them together, where they use the brake tools, they leave them exposed to metal. So this one tiny little piece the size of the tip of my finger will rust and leak, and you'll have to replace a full brake pipe for nothing. So every service on a car that I do, I cover these exposed pieces in grease. On the ferrules and stuff, I need to just rub that little bit off there. On the ferrules and stuff, get all that done. You can see the bit over there down next to the exhaust, and as well as onto here, all this will rust, and you'll end up having to change whole flexi pipes and everything for nothing. So a little tip there to make sure you do it yourself, or request your garage to do it, or come and see me if you're local. So yeah, they're the pads in and done. But to my surprise, this is the old disc. You can see it's looking a bit hard up on the edge as well, heavily corroded on the back. As you can see, these are the original Toyota pads, but this car's not that old. 67 plate, it's not that old, 2017, 18. And if you look at these back pads, they're starting to delaminate. It's weird because I've never had a delaminated pad for a while, and I've had 2 in one day. I can understand with that Honda CRV, because it's a 2007, I think, car. This is much newer. I didn't expect to see that, if the camera decides to zoom in on it. I think you've seen that before. And you see that there, where it's separating from the metal pad? It's not very good. So yeah, what you'll find with these hybrids, these will be the originals, and the pads really aren't that far worn down. Naturally, you've got to put new pads on with new discs. But what you find with these hybrids is when you're braking with them, they use the electric motor to brake. So what you'll tend to find is your brake discs get very rusty and hard up, because if you're just doing local driving, slow speeds, a lot of the time the car just uses the electric motor in reverse to do like a regen. So my advice, if you own a hybrid or you're thinking about getting one, it's very advisable, especially in the winter when there's salt on the roads, but maybe once every 2 weeks to a month, go out and give it a good, get it up to speed and actually do a few emergency stops. Obviously not on a busy road or anything, take it down a country road, but do a few heavy emergency stops, and also do like a long kind of progressive, like hard braking, you know, like get it up to like 60 on like a country road, and just harder than you normally would, bring it right down to a stop. And what you'll find is that cleans the discs up. The front ones don't get too bad, but these back discs, as you know, cars, they only work about 20% braking force on the back, because naturally if your back wheels lock up, you can lose control of the car. So all cars are set. Older cars have a little compensator valve on the back axle, so if you've got like 3 people in the back and a load full of goods in the boot, their brakes work at full working force. And obviously if the car's empty, you'll have heard of this on vans as well, so it just basically means that your back brakes don't lock up. So the less weight in the back, the less the brakes work, and the more weight that's in the back, the more they work. So what you find is with these back brakes, under even normal braking at like 60 mile an hour, they'll not clean themselves up, and they'll get to a point where they're beyond cleaning and you'll have to replace them. So definitely recommend you do that if you have a hybrid. Give it a good kind of, you know, just give it a good hard drive down a country road, giving it quite regular hard braking. You know, you don't need to do nothing where you're flipping sending yourself through the windscreen or causing any kind of danger on the road. You know what I mean? Just be vigilant, no one's behind you. But that's that. I just thought I would show you. Swing that round. So yeah, going to get on with this Passat tonight, get a few things built up on it. But I'll leave this video here today. I'll join them all together. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let us know your comments. I'm sorry I haven't had time to get back to people the last few nights. Last night I didn't get home till quite late, and we've been working late the last few nights, so when I'm getting in, I'm barely getting more than 20 minutes, half an hour to sit and eat my tea after having a shower and getting sorted. And you know, it's pushing like 10, 11 o'clock at night, and by the time it reaches that time, I have an hour catching up on my own YouTube, people who I'm subscribed to, watch a few of their things, and that's it. I'm done for the night. So I apologise. I will sit and get through the messages. That doesn't mean I don't read them. As you all know, I reply to each and every one of you. So I appreciate it. Like I say, if you're liking this and you like the daily vlogs, let us know what you think. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and I'll catch you tomorrow on Friday's vlog. Thanks. Bye.